Hello everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chuck Colin, the Associate Director for Student Media here. And we're going to just get into a little bit about student media here at Georgia State University. I'll allow each person here to talk about their organization, their roles, and just how you all can join if you're interested. So I'll pass it on to Ira.
Thank you. So hi, everyone. My name is Ira Levenot. I'm a current second year in the College of Law. So I've been here at Georgia State for 5 years. I worked at the Signal 3 years ago as the Director of Business Operations, and after that, I moved over to Student Government Association, and now I'm back over at the Signal as the Director of Business Operations.
Hi, I'm Adam Duffy. I'm a junior studying film and media. I started working at the Signal just like a year and a half ago and became the editor-in-chief of the Signal starting with this school year. Yeah, it's great to see all of you.
Hi, I'm Joy. I'm the editor-in-chief for Underground, which is the undergraduate literary magazine for Georgia State. And my position has started this semester. I'm a second-year English major, and it's an honor to be here today.
Hi, I'm Dhruv. I'm a freshman film and media major here at Georgia State. I just became general manager in Neon this semester. I'm excited.
Thank you all for that. So I think first things first, if let's say anyone is interested in the media organizations on campus, how does that work for your organizations, and also what positions are available, or what positions do you have on staff?
I'll let Adam take that one.
So yeah, this year's been very transformative for the Signal. We had a lot of disorganization going into this year. We had a lot of graduations with not a whole lot of retention, and so when I became editor-in-chief, we had about half of the staff that we should have, and so I made it my mission last semester to fill that. To fill all our positions out enough to where we could produce some newspapers and start, putting out information to the students that they needed. And currently, joining the Signal comes in a multitude of ways. When you look at the Signal, you shouldn't think of it solely as a newspaper, as just like a journalist's pursuit. We have 3 different departments with a wide range of skills. We have our creative department, which involves graphic design and involves illustration and stuff like that. We have obviously our content department, where our writers go out and they seek stories, and we also have our newly sort of added broadcasting department. We used to have a student media org called Panther Report News, which last semester was sort of incorporated into the Signal. And as it currently stands, there are 0 people working in it right now, since the last handful of them graduated last semester. And so that's a big pursuit of ours that we're looking to invest in, is creating a wing of the Signal that doesn't just print a paper every Tuesday, but also does live journalism. And so we're fleshing out a team of people to join that. And so, we have a very wide range of fields and things that, students can engage in. And, most of all, the core tenet between all of those is just not only a passion to learn these skills and to develop yourselves in a professional setting, but also a passion to help the students at Georgia State University learn more about what goes on their campus and what goes on in their city. So yeah, that's the Signal essentially.
So for Underground, we understand for the past year it's been kind of inactive, and there hasn't been a new issue published yet. So we are hoping to get the magazine up and running this semester, especially with new leadership coming in this semester. We're hoping that there will be a complete upheaval of the general staff positions. So this week, the staff position application has been released, and it's available on PIN for anyone's interest. So the way we're restructuring the Underground staff positions this semester is we are going to make it more specialized. So when people join the Underground, they know what to expect. They're not they don't have the responsibility to attend every single meeting. Instead, they have a very specific specialized role within the magazine that they are held accountable to. If they are more of like a graphic design oriented person, they can join our production team. If you're more interested in soliciting submissions and reviewing them with other peers, then you could join the acquisition editing team. If you're more interested in advertising and marketing, then the publicity team would be just right for you. So if you're interested in joining the underground, many different staff positions are open for you, and you have essentially free pick of them all. The earlier you apply, the better, honestly, just in case some positions are made unavailable as the semester goes on. But yeah, essentially we're hoping that this will bolster engagement, make students more accountable, make them feel like they actually have an official place as a staff member in underground. And we're really hoping that this will make it so that this year's magazine will really be something different from what you've seen from the past semesters.
So much like the other organizations up here, Neon's kind of been absent the last few years. So this semester is mainly going to be used to kind of restructure and rebuild, like create a full new handbook, so that there's kind of a more robust structure going forward, so it can be steady, like there's a foundation for the next few years. But that doesn't mean that it's going to be like completely absent this semester. It just won't be in its full capacity. So if you're still interested in like video production and you want like an outlet for that, Neon's still definitely a place to like look for. If you have projects that like you're directing right now and you're interested in, like using us as a resource for like mentorship or equipment, you can reach out to us. We'll see if we can help you out with that. If you want to just like start working with cameras, we're working on building an asset library for the next few years. So whether that be like B-roll, audio, even like graphic design assets, we're going to be doing that this semester as well. And then in terms of like learning opportunities, we're probably going to have, if enough people are interested, we'll hold some workshops this semester on lighting, production pipelines, maybe even some on makeup. And then we might also, alongside the asset library, I forgot, we might be building some little bite-sized like comedic shorts to kind of emphasize branding. And basically that's what we're going to be doing this semester, just a lot of like building up a brand and making it more robust for the future.
And our fifth media outlet, which currently doesn't have representation on the board, is New South, which is a literary journal similar to Underground, but it's based on content from MFA and PhD students. But it is a literary journal as well, and it accepts submissions from not only Georgia State students, but nationally there's a submission process that goes with that. And so, yeah, but that's graduate students. Next question is, aside from pen and obviously filling out the application process, in terms of the accessibility, if someone wanted to see the spaces or interact with you all, come and see the staff or what's going on, where can they find you?
So we're really fortunate as a Signal. We have Student Center West 250 is our suite, or our office, really. And we have been hard at work over the past, what feels like 30 years, but really has been about a semester and a little bit at renovating it and getting it ready and for people to come in and be in that space. And we're typically there. So if you just want to stop by and get to know us or have questions or want to interact in any sort of way, you're more than welcome to. It's a very it's an inviting space, lots of sitting room and collaboration room for you to come in and hang out and talk to us and learn more about what we do.
Yeah, and just adding to what Ira just said, with all these different sources of applications, it's difficult sometimes to parse through all of them. There's a lot of different avenues and just a long laundry list of applicants. And with the work that I already have going on with general production, sometimes the best way to come and see me about applying to work at the Signal in any of our departments is just to come into our office at Suite 250 on this floor of Student Center West and come in and see me. I'm most of the time I'm there with Ira. And so if you walk in and you say hi to me and you give me your name, I'll remember you a lot better, and I'll definitely make it more of a point to follow up. So I can't recommend that enough.
Once things get up and running in underground, you will always be welcome to join in on meetings wherever we find them. We will be holding them likely in 25 Park Place. Room number is always subject to change, but we'll always keep you guys updated on PIN and other social media that we have going on. We're also planning on holding monthly workshops or workshops that are hopefully either weekly or bi-weekly. We're going to have that oriented more around creative writing and advertise more to beginning writers, those who are a bit unsure about whether they should submit to the underground or whether they just want to come in and have a space where they can workshop their creative pieces, similar to the writing studio, but more oriented oriented less around critical writing and essay pieces and more on your personal fiction and poetry pieces, so we'll have those open for you as well. Otherwise, I have an office in 25 Park Place, which the details will be also posted on our social media. So you can drop by during office hours, which I will also post. If you want, if you have a need to talk one-on-one with me about getting involved in underground, or if you have any other concerns, if you just want to come and talk to me about your creative pieces, I'm always open to that as well. So yeah.
So right now, being that there's not going to be any regular meetings for Neon this semester, the best way to get involved for right now is to go on a pin and to just enroll and join the program, so that way you're on like our email list, and that way like you can get updates on what the program looks like, or to just email me directly or Casey, the technical advisor, and those emails will be on pin as well. But for now, the best way really is to just like reach out to us one-on-one, as if anyone's going to be involved, it's going to be on a case-by-case basis where we actually like talk with you and work with you. It'll be pretty personal in that way.
And my last question before we open it up for dialogue is after one submits an application or joins via PIN, what is that process like? Does one need experience, or what if they need help? What if they're unsure about what exactly they want to do? Is there an onboarding process, or does one already need to have some experience, or is it open to all majors, or what does that process look like?
Yeah, so for the signal, we're it's funny you ask this question, because right now there's a young woman named Jennifer that's in our office redesigning our entire onboarding process. And of course, Jennifer's working as one of our head administrators within or head of administration within the Signal. And that I want to talk about that very, very briefly, just to point out that even though it's known as a newspaper, it's more than a newspaper. Whether you happen to be a computer science student, and we're working on the digital editor aspect of it, and the website, and making sure that we're doing the front end development and the back end development. All of that is there are many different positions, including and especially designing these onboarding processes, and making sure that people do get onboarded. So the process itself right now, it lacks it leaves a lot to be desired. Basically, you apply on PIN or through a Google form, depending on which event you attended, and it gets reviewed as quickly as possible, which sometimes isn't quick enough. But right now, we have the people working on it to expedite this process and make sure that we're getting people onboarded as quickly as possible. And I don't know if Adam has anything to add. But
Yeah, what Ira said is completely true. We're making that system more robust and more streamlined. And in terms of qualifications and experience and all that, in any of our departments at the Signal, it's definitely good that you have some sort of experience, or it's good that you have some sort of experience or interest in those fields, but it's not at all necessary. The most important thing that we look for in any of our applicants is an eagerness and a passion for either learning the work of that department, a passion for being part of a team. At full capacity, we are a very large student organization, or a passion towards our mission statement of being a voice for the student body. And so, for anybody who listens to this, you don't feel daunted if you don't have any sort of experience in photography or graphic design or writing or video production, any of these things. As long as you have a desire to learn and you have a passion for working as a team and for helping the student body, then we can get you there along the way. We have the resources to teach you and to orientate you and all those things. So please, we welcome everybody. We'll look at everyone's application, and if we see those characteristics reflected, then we'll definitely be interested.
Oh, ditto essentially for the underground. We're trying to make our application process as simple and as accessible as possible. We're open to all majors. Experience isn't required, but it's definitely welcome, but don't think of it as a necessity at all. We're making it so since the staff positions are much more specialized, hopefully once you go on the application and look at the information that's provided with more details about each position, you can find yourself being able to specialize and put yourself in a certain discipline within the staff at underground. But if you have trouble orienting yourself around that, then feel free to shoot us an email or reach out to my email. We're very happy to help you. So yeah, essentially underground is willing to accept essentially students of all majors. All you need is a passion to work with us, a passion for creative spaces in Georgia State, and curiosity, essentially. Curiosity to see how such a creative space can be fostered in Georgia State, and yeah, a willingness to develop with us as a student body.
So for Neon, you can be any major. You can have a ton of experience with video production, or you can have none. As long as you're just willing to learn, and whether you think you can bring a lot to the table, or you just want to help and you're not really sure how that's going to look, and you want us to work with you on that, we'll do that. Really, right now, being that we're spending this semester to build an actual application program and a real onboarding process. It's all going to be case by case, and we'll work with you to see how you best fit into Neon as a bigger whole.
And now we will open it up for questions for any of our panelists, and I'll just repeat the questions so that our listeners on the live stream will be able to hear as well. So the question is for underground. In terms of submissions, can you submit just a single submission, or can you submit multiple?
You can definitely submit more than one submission. We've had it in past semesters. It's always welcome. This submission process, we're making it a lot more easier for people. In the past, we had people submit through a website called Submittable, and this semester, we're just going to have people email their submissions to us. If you have more than one submission, then you would just attach it to the same email. We'll have guidelines posted soon, likely next Monday, about all of this. But essentially, you just put in the subject line how many works you have, what genres there are. So if you have one poem, one, creative nonfiction, then you would just put them both in the subject line. So yeah, to answer your question, in short terms, yes, you can definitely submit more than one work at a time.
Any other questions? So question is directed to Neon. Are there specific roles and situations for each person, or is it a generic group setting with a free reign in regards to content?
So in the past, there have been roles, specific directors, producers, and writers on creating content throughout the semester. But the thing is that being that Neon is we're just rebuilding for now, and we're creating a new handbook, we're creating new roles from from scratch. We're gonna maybe build a new structure going forward. Right now, there's not gonna be any specific officer positions or leadership roles, and it's more gonna be on a case by case kind of project basis. If you're gonna be involved in Neon this semester, it'll be to help us get specific things done, so that way in the future we can have that like specific like tiered setting where people are like have a specific role, so to speak.
I know that question wasn't for me, but I want to say something about it. If that's okay. With regards to roles, I mean, I'm obviously I don't speak for Neon, but there's a. I think we can all sort of tell that whether because of COVID or whatever else, student media and student engagement in general has fallen apart. And there's a big effort right now to bring things back and breathe new life into it. I think, I mean, and I'm not going to speak for all of the Signal, but I'll certainly speak for the business operations at least, and you know, that includes the digital aspect, the marketing, the sales, the administration. If you came to me and said, you know, hey, I really want to work with innovating new mediums, which doesn't fall squarely under any role. I mean, that'd be amazing, right? So I think the most important thing is, if you have a passion, whatever it might be, and it's not something that currently exists, see us as a vehicle to bring that about, because we're really flexible and malleable in that aspect. Whatever it is you want to achieve, whatever it is you want to create, you want to build, we can help you. We can serve as a catalyst for that and as a vehicle for that. Because we're in such a rebuilding phase, I don't think anyone here on this panel will say that, you know, it has to be like this and it has to be like this. Clearly, what we had didn't work. You know, otherwise we wouldn't be where we are right now. And so at least I know that I'm not interested in going back to what we had, because then we'll get exactly back to where we are. So definitely, if you have new ideas and you want to do different things doesn't fit squarely anywhere on the page or on the application, don't let that stop you from suggesting it. And I know at least at the Signal, we're definitely entertain that and see what we can do.
Thanks for that. Question is, are the opportunities paid opportunities?
At the Signal, the answer is maybe. We, I won't talk about figures specifically, but I will tell you that in the last semester, we did 10,000% revenue of the previous 5 semesters. So our business operations are working. And so there's an opportunity for what we call deep strategic investment. And so depending on the role, depending on what exactly the inputs and outputs are, the answer is very, very possibly so.
I feel kind of cheap going right off of that, but Underground is a volunteer organization, so unfortunately, no, positions are not paid for. There's been a huge slash in funding for student media, the student media department in general, so actually none of the positions are paid in Underground anymore. So it's a strictly volunteer organization. We wish we could financially compensate you for your time, but it's just not possible at the moment. But we hope that this doesn't discourage you from getting involved in the magazine. Yeah, strictly volunteering, at least for this semester.
I'm very happy for Signal, and I'm glad they're doing well. But for now, Neon is also going to be a volunteer organization. All the positions include like general manager and everything. Maybe in the future, but for now, just going to be volunteer for the foreseeable.
Any other questions? Casey, would there be any questions from the chat, perhaps, on the live stream? Okay, thanks. So I guess with that, you all can give any closing remarks that you would like. And I also will say, for anyone that's here, we do have snacks and some nice cozy socks for giveaways. It's been chilly outside, so I know you could use some.
I just want to say that, you know, we at the Signal are going through, I think Adam said it earlier, it's a very transformative time. but not just transformative, but also innovative. Our product innovation is off the charts right now. The things that we're doing, the way that we're doing it, we're becoming more and more independent, which is sort of going hand in hand with that increase in revenue that we're seeing. And we're really reimagining and redreaming what student media, specifically within the Signal, can look like. And I think that success we're seeing in that aspect is going to be something that really paves the way for the rest of the Signal as well, and also gives us some security and, again, that independence, which is so important in student media. I said it a little bit before, and I'll reiterate it now. Whatever it is you're looking to do, whether you are, like I said, a web developer, whether you want to write scripts for Panther Report News, whatever it might be, there is a place for you in the Signal, and if there isn't one, we can make one, because we're really looking for people who care. That's the commodity. Experience, knowledge, education, those are details. People who care will get the job done at the end of the day. So if you have that passion, if you care, we're definitely the place for you.
Yeah, and just to add off of Ira, I can't emphasize enough the importance of student media on Georgia State's campus, on any campus. We've been asked the question earlier about if any of our positions were paid, and the answer I always want to give is they used to be. And so, as much as maybe factors outside of our control want to hinder student engagement and hinder our student organizations, or factors within our own university do, student media is important. The four of us sitting up here, fill a very important role in making sure that the students of Georgia State University, all 50,000 of us, can have a voice with powers that are greater than us, can have an outlet for our vast amounts of creativity. And so, I agree with Ira on everything he just said. Just come with passion, and we can find any role for you. I also want to say that there was something profound, but I forgot it. But yeah, I remember now. Sorry. At the Signal, what I've seen over the past year as I've worked there is this very sort of momentous movement that we've been doing. I think that going into the future, in the next semesters that me and Ira will be here, and the team that we currently have, I think we're going to do some really great things. And if you're a student who has a passion for being a part of that and for doing work with that team, then we'd love to have you.
Our aim for this semester is to make underground a more professional and a more presence in the Georgia State creative space. During the past semesters, we know that underground has always been there, but there has sort of been a lackluster amount of, presence in just general, in the general student population. So we know that some changes had to be made this semester. So our hope is that this semester will mark the beginning of this new structure for underground that is more professional, but also more accessible to people, more approachable, in that people can come in, they know what they have to do, they know what responsibilities they have, and they have a very specific but still fluid part of the creative process for our magazine. Especially in this time, there has always been a steady deprioritization of art and just humanities in general. In just general academic space, when funding gets slashed, we know what the first thing is to go. It's always the music classes, it's always the art classes, and of course, it's always student media. So even coming off of that pretty devastating staff and funding slash, we know that we still have a responsibility to make it so that students have a space to independently foster something creatively together. And we're hoping that this semester will essentially be the launch point for that.
With film and video at Georgia State, there's so much creativity. There's so many people who want to exercise that muscle and really try new things. and express themselves through that medium. And I think it's kind of sad that Neon and like there hasn't been like a student media like outlet for students to do that in the last few years. So really, we just want to take this semester and like make sure it's done right and that it's going to be here. It's going to be robust. Like people can feel like people can tune in and watch it, and people can feel like they can go somewhere to actually like put out their art and let it be seen by people. So if it sounds like you want to be a part of that and like want to be a part of helping it build up, then please like reach out, check us out on PIN this semester, so you can just do like a little bit. We really just will take any help we can get, and we're happy to work with you to see like how you can fit into that.
So thank everyone for their time, as far as our audience as well as our panelists. Definitely feel free to stop by the creative spaces. And also for myself, I'm located in Student Center West, 256F. So feel free to stop by myself as well. And as we wrap up, also if you have any questions for them or for myself following this, you can pull us to the side and ask those questions as well. And also thanks to anyone tuned in on the live stream. And that concludes our program. Thank you.